This is Kim Willard here again with Dave the Raw Food Trucker. Cheers.
Cheers. Yes.
Yeah. I am on day 6 of the Master Cleanse, and Dave is doing it with me.
Yes, I am, and I'm on day like 2.5, I think.
Yeah.
Or something like
This
that.
would be his 3rd day, except he had some raw potato with Himalayan salt on it on the first day.
Yep.
And then
I'm just taking it day by day. It's all good.
And
so this is a Master Cleanse diet. I'm going to let Kimmy share a little bit. I know we talked about this the other day, but just share a little bit about what's going on. And what really is happening here is Kim and I are inspiring each other to go deeper and deeper and deeper into this, and it's a lot of fun.
Yes, and now, see, normally a quart jar is 3 servings. Now we're doing 3 teaspoons, as of this morning, of cayenne pepper.
And what does it call for? A half a teaspoon, right?
Yeah, it's about, I can't remember how much it is per serving, but it's about a half a teaspoon for 3.
Okay.
So
we're doing 3 teaspoons of cayenne pepper per serving, and then you added...
No, not per serving.
No.
For 3 servings.
For 3 servings, okay. And then you added more lemon, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah,
2 lemons per.
We're doubling up on the lemons. And then the other thing is, I cut back on the molasses just because I'm a raw fooder, and it wasn't raw, and there was something a little bit off to me. It may not be raw. It might be raw. I don't know if they have raw molasses or not. I mean, I'm open to everything, and I'm not 100% raw, organic, or vegan, so I can do things like this. But what happened was amazing, because I went from a tablespoon to a teaspoon, and
they recommend a tablespoon for diabetics, and to go up to 2 tablespoons per serving. So actually, a jar like that would be up to 6 tablespoons.
Yeah, and I'm using 1 teaspoon in the entire jar.
Yeah.
And yesterday, when I was doing I did 1 tablespoon for the entire jar because I wanted to test my blood sugars. And Kimmy, I showed her to her. It was it was 75 yesterday, and then today it was 77. So doing this, if you're diabetic with the molasses, just make sure you're checking your blood sugars, and feel free to lower the molasses a little bit. But another thing that surprised me about this, Kimmy, is that when Kim tasted it, she said it tasted much better.
Much better with 1 teaspoon.
Yeah, yeah. Now
that,
and tell them what you're using, what it actually calls for. Because we're talking about the molasses.
What I use in mine?
Yeah, what you use in yours.
I use 3 ounces of the grade B organic maple syrup if I have it. And if not, like right now, I'm just down to grade B maple syrup.
Yep.
On this one. So.
Yep.
But we're going to go to the health food store today and find some super duper hot cayenne pepper.
Yes, I told her, let's go to a health food store and find real cayenne pepper.
Because what I have is 40.
It's organic, but it's about 40,000 heat units. I'm looking for 130,000 to 150,000.
And then I don't think we'll be using 3 teaspoons.
You never know.
But we'll see. We might
build up to it.
Yeah.
If we're not puckering out of both ends.
Which I have.
Yeah. Yeah, so have I at times. Not on this, but yeah, absolutely. So this is On the Couch with Kim Willard, and I'm honored to just be here hanging with Kimmy on the couch.
And I am so thrilled to have Dave another day.
Yes, yes. Let's tell them how that came about. I woke up and I was thinking, wow, you know, since I missed Sunday supper up in
Salem?
Portland, you know, I could probably stay another day, but I really don't want to overstay my welcome, and you know, I don't know what's going on in Kim's life. Then I come out, and what do you say? You say, Dave, can you stay another day?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I was just like overjoyed. My heart lifted up. I mean, just bounced.
And he said yes, and I couldn't believe it.
Yep. So it was all good because we know each other's hearts. We're getting to know each other a little bit here. And Kimmy, why don't you explain to them about these things?
So I came back, and he had laid out all his beautiful necklaces.
Yeah.
And he said that he'd like me to pick out a couple to wear, and
for
then
the day,
yeah, for the day, and I ended up picking out one for him, which ended up being 3.
Yeah, this is one you just can't see it black against a gray sweater, and then this is tiger eye. I love this one. And then this one over here is another one with black onyx stone. Yeah.
Now, you found these?
No, I bought the little arrowheads, and then some of the jewelry, the stuff that Show made up in Seattle, and I asked her to wash it with her tears of joy, each piece, and she made these for me. And then some of them, as I traveled around the world, I literally found these little stones, and then I would have them put together on other necklaces. I have about 40 necklaces, not just of these little arrowheads, but I have some of just different animals' teeth that were fossilized. I don't get anything that somebody would kill an animal for now. But anyway, that's just me. We were talking a little bit earlier about really about what's going on with how animals are being raised. And, I am vegan primarily, not so much from a moral standpoint, but from the point that I really agree with Dr. Gabriel Cousens, MD. In one of his books, he said that he really thinks that a lot of the disease that enters the human body is coming in through pesticides, animal products, things like that. And there's something happened when I got rid of the animal products in my diet, and I could actually feel it in my body. And I was still 430 pounds at that time. I was dying, and I had all these diseases, but I felt it. I could literally feel it. And so I am not more of a
How did it feel?
ethical vegan as I am. How it felt was really strange to me, because I used to eat 3 pounds of red meat, and just in one day I quit everything with David and Uta Whiting and went raw organic vegan and experienced that. Then I had, I failed here and there, but I just never gave up. And eventually I won, and I made this transition. And how it felt like was something was lifting from me, and I could just feel, it was like a weight on my shoulders, it was a weight through my whole body, and it just seemed to be dissipating. It just seemed to be leaving me, whatever. And the only thing I was going organic too, but what I really connected to was, wow, I'm not eating this 3 pounds of red meat. I'm not eating
Every day?
Every day, yeah. I'm not eating these 2-pound blocks of Tillamook cheese every 2 to 3 days. There's something happening in my body, I deduced, with getting rid of the animal products, and it was a very freeing experience. And that was really probably the first big thing I felt in this whole change of things, in terms of feeling anything with my body. The amazing thing to me was that I was still 430 pounds, and that I could actually feel this. And then as I started reading and getting everything into the raw foods, my life really started changing. And but Kimmy and I were just talking, and there are what I call ethical veganists who really feather suit transportation. Perfect example. Love this woman to death, man. That's the wrong term. Love this woman to life. Anyway, great people, and I'm realizing, wow. So she really, I don't know if animals have souls or not. I don't know, but I know people that believe that they do, and that they are just as valuable as a human life in the sense of how they should be treated as a life. And I can understand that. I get that. Yeah, so there are ethical vegans that are that way for not eating meat for ethical reasons. I am a vegan who doesn't eat meat because I really believe that meat does indeed bring disease into the body. We're getting disease from somewhere, and it's not just in our body instantly. In most cases, we can be born with disorders and things like that, but most of the time, for most people, disease has to be coming in from somewhere. It has to either what we're breathing in, what we're drinking, or what we're eating. And when you really start to understand the ramifications of that, it becomes very, very profound. And the other thing is, that becomes profound is as you start putting things into your body and you start actually feeling what you're putting into it, you're going to start gravitating more and more and more to like this beautiful woman. But now we're talking about food. But you're going to gravitate more and more and more toward 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 that which makes your body pump with life. That which you start feeling energizes you, and you can feel it, and it's incredible. And all of a sudden, over a period of time, I didn't realize this for almost a year and a half to 2 years, a year, however long it was, but my cravings were getting less and less and less. And what I realized after all this was done, I lost 230 pounds in a year and a half. And what I realized when all this was done was that as I flooded my body with phytonutrients, antioxidants, beta-carotenes, minerals, everything that the body needs, the body went and took it all and put it in the liver, the kidney, the spleen, the heart, the lungs, the eyes, the teeth, every hair, skin, everything. And your body knows what to do. But your body is always going to send you a signal for more food if it needs something for the spleen or the liver or the kidney or the lungs or the heart. Because all the body knows is when you eat, you get nutrients put into your body. Now the body knows where to put those nutrients on a cellular level and flood everything with it. That's what you want to do, in my humble opinion. I can only speak about my personal experiences, and that's all I'm trying to share with here. And just so everybody knows, I have a 9th grade reading equivalency and an 8th grade mathematical equivalency. I never graduated from high school, so I'm not giving out medical advice, and obviously I'm not a doctor.
I have got to ask you
Okay.
about your daughter.
Oh my gosh, yes, my daughter
tell
Julie.
us.
Okay, so my daughter Julie lost
saw her
a massive
pictures.
amount of weight. I
Sure, a lot
posted
of
it
our
on
friends
my,
on Facebook
yes,
have seen
I
too.
posted it on Facebook. Yeah, and I'm so proud of what she's done in her life.
She looks amazing.
She really, truly does, and she is amazing.
Does
She's
she
an
live close
amazing,
to you?
incredible human being. She lives. I'm not sure if she wants me to say where she lives.
Okay,
but she lives in Washington State, and we're about a 3-hour drive away from each other. And
Good job.
yes, good job, Julie.
Yes.
Right on. And you can contact her on Facebook under Julie Conrady if you want. And, ask
But anyway,
her for
how did
friendship.
she do it?
Now, she did it differently than I did. So she had some kind of surgery. I forget what it's called. And then where you just eat like little amounts.
The gastric.
It isn't gastric bypass. It's something else. But the bottom line is that a lot of people will look at that in the raw food movement or in the natural world and go, oh man, that's a terrible thing to do. Whereas I look at all this stuff and I'm like, really? Because when I see the results of my daughter in 9 months, I'm like going, way to go, Julie. You did what you had to do to make it happen.
Yep.
And I don't care if it is surgery. I really don't, You're getting healthier. You're getting better. Now she's, starting to experiment a little bit here and there with nutrients. And,
Good.
I'm going to be talking to her about maybe doing some juicing with her and other things. But
Because with
whether
eating
she
little
chooses
amounts,
to do that or
wouldn't
not,
that be wonderful?
well, that's what she's learning how to do
Yeah.
and has learned how to do. And she has really mastered this. And it really, truly is incredible. And the surgery is just the tip of the iceberg because 99% of it is you adhering to it. Because a lot of people get these kinds of things.
And then re-stretch their stomach out.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You re-stretch your stomach out and you're right back to where you were. And I'm just so very, very proud of my daughter. And kudos to her. And to be honest with you, thumbs up to anybody that does anything to bring them into their bodies into a healthier state. Because a friend of mine, David Wolf, said in one of his books that he really thinks that the world has it bass backwards. I'm being polite here, but instead of people focusing on down payment on a house and getting the house and paying for the car, we should be focusing on our own health because the healthier we are, the more productive we are, the clearer we think. Guess what? Then we can go out and make more money, and then you're going to have your house and your car and everything else. But man, if you're not healthy, things are going to start shutting down in your life and you're going to be forced to take a look at it. And at that point, it's usually too late. I've coached almost 300 people now, and I see this time and time again. People that are in their late 40s, 50s, 60s. They've lived their whole life this way, and they just aren't willing to make a change. Now, for me, I had David and Yuta Whiting in my truck for 10 days, so I was able to make this change, and I was able to call them every now and then, you know. And then Gabriel Cousins, MD.
You only had them for 10 days?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, but I was able to call them and ask them all these questions and do all this stuff. And then Gabriel Cousins, MD, came out with a book called There Is a Cure for Diabetes, and that's when I found out about juicing. And he has another book called Rainbow Green Live Food Cuisine. So anybody out there that has diabetes should look into this doctor. Again, his name is Gabriel Cousins, Cousens. I don't make a dime off any of his product. I'm just trying from my heart to pay all this forward and to honor that man and what the Tree of Life is doing, because it's not just him, it's all the energy coming up from the Tree of Life. And yeah, you got to check out these books. He's got other books. I've read every one of his books, but Spiritual Nutrition is a good one. Conscious Eating is a good one. But the two books that I live out my life out of is Rainbow Green Live Food Cuisine and There Is a Cure for Diabetes.
And those are both by him?
Yeah, those are both by him.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, Cousens on Cousins.
Now, I want to go back to this master cleanse that you're on the second day of.
Yeah.
And you have not really been feeling a lack of energy at all. You've been feeling more energy, in fact, on that one teaspoon of...
Yeah, that's... I was telling Kimmy before we went on camera on the couch here that this is really an amazing thing to me, but it's really got me perplexed and in a good way and curious. So I was telling her I may well be just carrying this thing on for, I don't know, a few days, a month, I don't know, however long. But the bottom line is that I'm trying to figure out where I'm getting my energy from, because I know where I'm getting my energy from on a juice feast when I put in massive amounts of greens. I go out and I pick wild grass. I take 3 to 6 shots of wild grass, put it in juice, dandelion juice, 3 to 6 shots, mix it with cucumber and celery and kale and everything. I know where all my phytonutrients are.
Oh, and in case I didn't tell you guys, he is going to come down here and do a wild food class.
Oh, yeah.
A wild grass class.
Kim's idea.
Yes, with a field trip, take us out, show us, how to easily find the grass.
Yeah,
and
so
I'm sure
we're
have
going to take
everywhere, right?
Yeah, you do, especially here in Eugene,
and then
Oregon.
have shots.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to go out. This is Kimmy's idea, and we're going to come down here. We're going to do a little half-a-day seminar type thing.
Inspired by
and then
your
we're gonna...
video with Dan McDonald. When I saw that, I said,
cool.
My.
Right on. And what we're going to do is we're going to go out, and I'm going to show people how to look for the grasses, find where the sweetest grasses are, and we're going to actually pick it. We're going to have a hand carry wheatgrass juicer. We're going to juice out in the field or out in the wild. We're going to juice this. We're going to juice dandelions, anything we can find that's edible in the grass, and then we're going to drink some shots.
I love it.
And on top of that, if I may, I'm not sure, but I may set up another juicer with a generator so that we could make the kind of juice. Because what I do is I don't drink the straight shots. I take 3 to 6 shots of wild grass juice. I take 3 to 6 shots of dandelion juice. I put that in there, and I always do that with wild. And then I take and put in some cucumber, some celery, some red, yellow, and orange bell peppers, which is all low glycemic that a diabetic can drink. And I make usually 2 liters, maybe 3 out of it. And then that's what I drink for the day.
That.
And we'll do that. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to show people how I live my life. And so, then that'll be here in Eugene, Oregon.
Yep.
And I'm just going to put this out there. If anybody else would like to do that, we can set something up. I can come to your neck of the woods. We got people in Salem that I want to meet.
And I'm thinking,
Go ahead.
Well, I was thinking the people from Salem could come down here.
Yeah.
But
it's a half-hour drive. Yeah. I don't know, why not, or an hour. Yeah.
Come join us down here for that one.
Yeah, but if people would like me to do that, we could work something out. And I could come out and do a half-a-day seminar. And I think it'd be fun.
Awesome.
I never thought of it. Kimmy's idea. And
I know.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you know how to do it, and I'd like to learn, and I'm sure so many others would too.
Yeah,
so.
and I get this. You don't have to fly all the way to Ecuador to learn how to do it like I did.
He did.
Yeah, I literally went there and met Peter Kaiser, the wheatgrass messiah, and I flew down there only to meet him, even though I was speaking at the Raw Food World Conference. Matt Monarch was really cool. He was humble. I didn't know how to tell him this, but I just felt I had to. I was like, Matt, I just want you to know. I was at his house. He bought all this alfalfa stuff. We were bushes, and we were just partying it down, drinking wild grass juice and alfalfa juice. And I go, Matt, I need to tell you something, man. I really honestly did not come down here to go to the Raw Food World Conference. I mean, I'm glad to be here, but I came down here to hang out with the wheatgrass messiah, Peter Kaiser, who David Wolf told me had been juicing wildgrass for 20 years. And I've already been heavily juicing and been on, at that time I was on I had done three 3-month juice feasts and a 4-month juice feast. And for about 80% of the time of the first 2 years I was raw organic vegan, I was actually drinking juice the whole time. In between I was eating raw food about the other 20% of the time because I was trying to just master how to do this. And the difference between me and a lot of other people is I just never quit. My first juice feast was 4 days or 6 days or something. I was puking my guts out. It was 4 days because that was the day all my stuff dropped. My blood sugars were in the 400s or 300s, and they dropped all the way down to 85 and then 75 the next day. So I knew this worked. But I was throwing up on the juice because I didn't know what I was doing. I was over juicing with the greens, and so my body was just puking it all out. And so what I did was I went back to the Rainbow Green Live Food Cuisine, but being in a truck, excuses are useless, right? So being in a truck, I didn't have a dehydrator, so what I did was I got everything and put them in these little plastic containers, and I just got the portion size of what was going into the meal. So I just ate that. So I knew I was getting all my nutrition. And it was still a Rainbow Green Life Food Cuisine is a dietary system for diabetics. So I knew I was okay. And then a few days later, I could smell the juice, drink it again. I tried. My next juice feast was 6 or 8 days. Then the next one was, I remember I felt like I was a milepost that I made 30 days. I was like ready
That's huge.
I was ready to dance a jig,
He's done 5 months since then, but
I've done one 5-month one since. Anyway.
Well, if I lasted 2 weeks,
I just don't even count if they're. I just don't even try and count the 30 and 60 days. So
keep
the
going.
Ones that I
on
know
juice feast 5 months.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. You got to know what you're doing, and there's a way to do it so that you never have a caloric drop. You don't want to drop in calories, and I take vitamin B supplements just in case. And I've coached so many people on it now. I pretty much feel like I've seen just about all of it because I'm never going to say I've seen it all because then something pops up and I'm like, oh wow, okay, But yeah, anyway, I do low glycemic juice feasting. And it really is a feast. When I first heard about this...
A minute and a half.
Okay. When I first heard about this, I was like, that's a nice play on words. But it's really not a play on words if you really understand the difference between fasting and feasting. But anyway. Go ahead, Kimmy.
Go ahead, Kimmy. Well, feasting is a gallon, right? Yeah, or up to a gallon.
Feasting is as much as you can drink, but putting in all the phytonutrients, antioxidants, beta-carotenes, the vitamins, the minerals, the elements, everything, and you just drink as much as you can, and you're flooding your body with all of this stuff.
And by that, you mean different kinds of vegetables and fruits?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody. Well, we actually were just going to make a little short video and talk about the...
Wow, we've been on for 24 minutes? Really? Seriously?
Yeah, about
20.
Wow,
hope we didn't bore you to death.
I'm sure not. Anyway, we're going to go off to the health food store. And
yes, we are. What's the name of the health food store we're going to here?
Sundance.
Sundance. Right on.
Or Capellas.
Yes. Looking forward to it. Been there before. Great place.
And if you have any questions you want answered, you just go ahead and make a comment.
Yep.
All right.
And Kimmy will answer them if I don't. So you'll get every question.
I'll call Dave.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Blessings from the heart.
Yes.
We love you. Have a good day.
I didn't think so.